Hello, here we are. We are back. This is season 6, episode 6 now of our matchup series debate. The way this works is it's kind of like a game show. I have 4 questions for these 7th graders in teams of 2, and they'll each get to answer each question, and I'll award points and eventually the card to the team that answers the question, in my mind, the best. So this is all subjective, right? Our 2 teams are Team Cookies on my left, your right. This is Evelina and Priyanka, Team Cookies. Evelina and Priyanka. And then on my right, your left, we have Team Garlic, which is Kaveri and Emma. So Kaveri and Emma are Team Garlic. All right, so we did a coin toss before we started recording, and our coin toss went to Team Cookies over here, Priyanka and Evelina. So that means they get to decide to answer the first question first, or they can pass. And sometimes there's a benefit in going first, sometimes there's a benefit in going second. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
All right, first question is all about empathy. What is empathy? What's sympathy? That's not even the question. Do you know the word empathy? Yeah? Is a synonym, what's a synonym for empathy? How do we define it?
It's understanding what others have been going through.
Yeah.
Like if you've been in their shoes, like if you went through it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, understanding what somebody is going through. Yeah. Having compassion, I guess, would be a good word. How's that different than sympathy? Well, we typically say sympathy is not really having gone through somebody else's experiences, but with empathy, we find it to be a deeper understanding. Maybe because we've been through something similar.
Yeah.
Okay, so empathy. Understanding somebody's feelings. All right, you're first, right? Yes. Team Cookies. Our 7th graders, do they know the word empathy, first of all? Do they possess this social skill yet? Or is this something that they need help learning and putting into practice, like implementing? So here's the question again. Do 7th graders know empathy? Do they do a good job with it? Or do they need a lot more work?
7th graders need a lot of help with empathy because they just think everything's a joke to them and they don't take these things seriously as others do, and we just need help working on it. It's just, they think everything's a joke, they laugh about it, make jokes about it, just don't really understand what people go through and how hard it is for them. Yeah.
Good start. Priyanka, what else?
I feel like 7th graders need more work. They don't understand sometimes the situation, and
Yeah. We might be able to come back, so you be thinking. Okay, we're gonna go over to Team Garlic over here. Go ahead, Ed.
Although I find a lot of their points valid, I still think that 7th graders are able to empathize with one another because we're all the same age and we do share quite a few similarities. So we're not all exactly the same, but some people, they share things, and that helps them connect with one another, because I feel like sharing things with your parents is a bit different since they're not living the same life we are. But sharing things with people you know, it's sometimes you're able to connect further and really put yourself in their shoes. And our teachers, a lot of them especially, really try to make sure we're aware of what's going on and express what we need to feel.
Sure.
Yeah.
What else, Emma?
I agree with Kaveri. I also think that it just depends on who, you can empathize more with your classmates than you can with a stranger on the street. So it also just depends on who you're having empathy with or who you're empathizing with.
Does it depend on the kid, the student,
Yeah.
Yes,
the person?
definitely.
Does it depend on the circumstance?
Yeah.
And the level of maturity.
Interesting. Any other thoughts? Empathy. So it sounds like Team Garlic over here, Emma and Kaveri, say 7th graders can empathize.
Yeah.
Do they all the time?
No.
Because it sounds like Priyanka and Evelina are nah, they need some work.
For example, if the class clowns, they just, there's a majority of for example, the boys, for example, they're not really as serious as others. So again, it's just like they said, it depends on who it is.
Yeah.
So
Is that a stereotype?
Yeah, it is.
Does it fit true sometimes?
sometimes it does.
For
So stereotypes are.
I feel like for the most part,
Yeah.
most people are empathetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the most part, we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And,
For the most part, we are. It's okay to disagree.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
So,
I
Kaveri and Emma say, for the most part, 7th graders can have empathy.
Yeah, I agree on that.
Do they?
Sometimes.
Not a lot.
Just again, it depends on who it is.
So we're kind of split. So here's where I'm going with this one. I'm awarding the first card to Team Garlic over here. That one goes to Emma and Kaveri. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the best start was over here with Evelina and Priyanka. But I'm going to award the card there. Fair or unfair, okay? Next question. These are all going to kind of link and somewhat not. You'll see. But anyway, so we got a 1-0 lead. Garlic over cookies. Next question goes to these two. You're first to answer this question, or you can pass. The next question is all about online, the online world, the internet world. So I want you to consider, especially teenagers online, is our treatment, is the treatment of other people, especially teens, is it improving online? Are we getting better with the way that we're talking to each other or treating each other online? Or is it declining? Or is it like kind of just staying the same? You want to hear it again? Yeah. Teenagers especially online. We're talking media and anywhere on the internet. Is the treatment of other people, is it improving? Is it declining? Or is it kind of just staying the same, steady?
I feel like it depends on the topic, like on social media, like because with different topics it might be going well, but with others it might be going very worse. So.
I feel like it kind of depends on the person. Like if you're gonna put yourself out so much on social media, you kind of, obviously it's never okay to hate on people, but you have to kind of understand that people have differing viewpoints, and if you completely put yourself out there, then you kind of have to expect that not everybody is going to agree with you and justify your actions and opinions. So like, I think it's kind of split, although, so I think the treatment is it's getting worse, because people are really putting themselves out there and really, really like expressing their beliefs, and they kind of like have a need to be right.
Wow, there's a lot there.
Yeah, that's my opinion at least.
Good start over here. So what's putting yourself out there even mean? What's that mean, putting yourself
sharing
out?
all your opinions, like sharing most of your opinions and beliefs.
Because it's possible to be unsafe. We don't want to overshare.
Yeah.
True?
It's not really like the platform's fault, because they enable it so that you can have a private account and you can accept or like decline what you hear. So if you're completely okay with sending yourself out with over 1 million people to see you, then I feel like you do kind of have to expect.
I'm assuming you're talking media. You're talking social media.
I'm
in
talking
this
about, yeah.
Are 7th graders on social media?
Definitely.
Are they allowed to be?
Yeah. I mean,
They're old enough to do it?
Yeah.
Do their parents and guardians allow them to?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have experience with the online world. Sounds like over here they're kind of split, depends on the scenario. Any final thoughts? We're going to give it over to Team Cookies. It's a good start. You want to hear the question again? Or you got it?
I got it.
Go ahead, Evelina.
It is getting worse. Social media, people they think that they have more freedom with it because of all the different apps that have been developed, and they just think that they can just say whatever they want, and sometimes they don't realize that it could hurt others, not just like putting your opinion. It could also be like bullying. Like they say something mean about another person, the person finds out, and it just creates a whole entire conflict, and they have too much freedom with it. Like they need to like tone it down a bit and maybe like, I don't know, just
They being teenagers?
Teenagers, yeah, specifically.
Middle schoolers?
I don't
just
really
teens?
know. I feel like it's more teens.
Yeah.
They usually go through like a harder time than like, for example, middle schoolers. So they like just want to be mean to others because they just feel like that.
Yeah. So Priyanka is Evelina says declining.
Yeah, I think it's declining. People say a lot of stuff without knowing like how it can hurt the other person, like cyberbullying. And then if one person says something about another person, the other person will say something rude back, and then it'll turn into a whole thing.
So teenagers don't tend to back down, huh? They want revenge.
Yeah,
always want
It's
to be
revenge
right.
of this
They always want to be right, and they always just want to like. They want others to hear that I'm better than you, and I know what like they want to think that they're better than others by like saying more mean things to make the other person feel like they're just not a person, they're just something.
So if we're insulted,
Yeah.
teenagers, if
Yeah.
teens are insulted, they don't back down from the insult, just ignore it?
It depends on how much.
Depends.
Yeah. Once again, going back to maturity.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm hearing that we're kind of split over here, but we're on a decline. Man, I think what Priyanka said at the end, that was pretty good, right, Priya? And Evelina, I'm going to give the card over here. Especially when you're saying we don't back down or we won't, ignore rude comments.
Yeah.
Now, should they happen in the first place? No. But I think that was a good point. Now, I might be wrong. So I'm calling it all tied up at this point, but you let us know. Team Garlic, Team Cookies. All right, 2 questions left. Team Cookies, yeah. The third question is always about health class. All right, so this one is specific to us, and we're in health class this quarter, fourth quarter of the school year. School year's kind of coming to an end, right? All right, so I want you to consider the stuff we do in health class, and also the previous questions I just asked. Do we do a good job in health class of encouraging compassion, empathy, fair treatment, being kind, just overall kindness? Do we do a good job encouraging and giving the opportunity for students to be kind? Or should we do more? Like, do 7th graders need more opportunity to practice empathy? All right, ladies, you are Team Cookies. You are first to act, or you can pass the card.
We'll start, but
Okay.
I feel like for example, in this school, they're doing a really good job on about encouraging compassion, empathy. They're doing a good job. They're always like just helping out. But then again, it's the student. If they choose not to like take that information in with them, they're just gonna forget about what happened, and then they're just gonna move on with their life and keep doing the same thing that they're doing. Or there's someone else that would like take what they're saying and be like, okay, yeah, I'll use that tip, and instead they're gonna change themselves to be someone better.
Sure, I get it. Priyanka, what else?
Like the teachers, they teach the students things, and then the students can like take that with them, like how
Yeah.
Evelina said. And but then there's like one point where like if the students don't take like the information with them, the teachers can't like really control what their actions are and what they do.
Interesting. That's a great point.
Yeah, like it depends on the student, and not just the student, it could also depend on the teacher. I'm not saying you, I'm just saying in general.
Hey,
there
no
are some
offense
teachers
taken.
who they just do this just to get money. Some teachers don't care really what they're doing. They're just teaching it just so they could get it done with. So it just again depends on the type of person that you are. It doesn't depend on what you're teaching. It doesn't depend on the material that you're doing and all that. It just depends on the person. That's what it mostly depends on.
Yeah, okay, so it kind of depends. You're in the middle, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. That's a great start on this card.
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
follow
and
it up. Go ahead, Emma.
Adding on to that, like again, our this school does a really, really good job of making sure that empathy and being kind to everyone is taught. I mean, like in ELA, we have essential questions that relate back to empathizing, and so they do a really good job of teaching it. But again, it's just going back to if that student or person is willing to, like, just willing to accept that and willing to try to be a kinder and more empathetic person.
To put it into practice in their own life.
Yeah.
Nice, Emma. What else?
Like
Kaveri?
the recent incident, as we all know, there's been quite a few incidents that have been going on specifically in like this school.
Yeah.
And I feel like Mr. Lowridge, Officer Ford, all of these teachers, they've all been trying so hard to prevent situations like that. But it's not under their control. Like they're doing the best they can to make sure our students are successful, and they want the best for us. They're never obviously trying to hurt us. You guys are trying to help us succeed.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not really under their control what we do outside of school. But I feel like what they teach us to do, we take it on with us to other places, and that really helps. Like what Emma said in ELA, we've had multiple units of morality, humanity, ethics. Right now we're learning about the Holocaust, like understanding how horrible that situation obviously was. So I think they teach us stuff and expect us to take it away with us, which we should follow it, but as they stated, it really depends.
Yeah, and again, it's just maturity level.
Yeah.
And how, like, if someone's willing to accept that.
Yeah.
I wonder if a lesson could be taught, or let's say we have a life skill we're working on. I wonder if it's not necessarily going to happen immediately, if it could happen months or years down the road where something kind of clicks in. Any
Yeah.
thoughts on that, or other thoughts, Kaveri?
Kind of feel like, well, we have SEL lessons,
Yeah.
and I feel like students mock that. I have to admit, I'm one of them. I'm not a big fan of them.
No.
And
Are they sometimes, you don't like them?
I obviously respect that we're trying to help social emotional learning,
Sure.
as they say, but I feel like just reading off stuff off of a computer doesn't really help us as a person. We just spend 40 minutes
and singing songs.
and they
and,
enforce it. They like make us pay attention, but they don't. Well, I'm like not trying to put down anyone, but they don't really like help us know what's going on. Like we have these SEL lessons where we just watch. We watch the activity, we watch a video, then we talk about it in small groups. But like it doesn't really go. It goes one in one ear out the other.
And I feel like they don't make us apply it
Yeah.
to everyday life. It's more of just, hey,
Uh-huh.
watch this video or read this
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
try to do this instead of enforce, like,
Yeah. Teaching lessons
step.
isn't the same as really connecting with a person and having that go through to them like fully.
Wow, that's a good follow-up.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts? Did you think of anything while they were talking?
I agree with them. It is like, for example, sometimes like every like Wednesdays or Fridays, I think we do like second step, which again just solving conflict, like being nice to others, like how would you solve conflict, and they just like they just read off the computer and just expect us to like
And it's not the teacher's
understand
fault.
it. It's not the teacher's fault.
it's
They're
the
just trying to
lesson
they're
itself.
trying to like teach us, but I feel like that there could be more done in
Yeah.
order for us to be able to like accept that and like use it in our real life scenarios rather than just reading it off a computer and just expecting us to sit there and learn it and then be like, okay, I got it, let me go do this now. Like it just doesn't sometimes work that way. Sometimes it needs to be more entertaining and more fun for others to like be able to do it.
Yeah, because
Or what to do.
Or want to
I
do,
remember like watching the videos. Like I don't really remember anything. Like we didn't like apply it to anything.
We've watched videos in health class.
Yeah, but those-
Have those helped
Yeah.
with empathy?
Some of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, what you
Yeah.
do with your videos is you don't just show us a video and that's it. You show us the video and have us interpret it, like writing down, answering questions, really making us
talking
think
about it in class
Yeah,
too,
talking
and like
about
with
it in
other
class.
people. And it's not just
Uh-huh.
watch the video and just like answer some questions and turn in
Yeah.
the paper. We talk about it with other people in
Yeah.
class,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
we have discussions about it, which actually does help
Yeah.
others like understand the topic more.
I'm almost 99% sure I remember what we learned in this class way better than what we learned in the
Yeah.
GPS.
You're just saying that because the video is playing.
Well, no.
No,
I'm messing around.
I honestly have
Sure.
no idea
Yeah.
what.
I forgot what
on
we
Monday.
did for second step like last
It's
week, so
like-
it's just not
It's all
really
the same
helpful.
too.
Sounds like you
Never
want.
change it up.
Yeah.
You could use more. It sounds like you
Yeah.
use more
Yeah.
like real
Yeah.
life
But,
or
like, there's no
processing or I get it. We're all kind of in a tough spot, but it seems like we're split. Like seventh graders do need some more, but also there are some classes that encourage it. And your responses were, I'm split. So guess what? We're split.
Oh.
So the card is literally split. We're gonna go 1.5 points to 1.5 points.
Is there anything we can tie?
Going into the bonus question, we got one more.
Okay.
You could tie. I think I've only had like one tie ever. I had a really difficult week to choose a winner, but I wonder if we can get a winner out of Team Garlic versus Team Cookies. The bonus question is always just for fun. Bonus. And the bonus question this week, this time, is imagine, would you rather you be overdressed for every occasion or you are underdressed for every occasion? Do you know what those terms mean?
Yes, this is like it's my favorite. I love this.
So over here we got Emma and Kaveri are first to answer the final
Okay,
question.
yeah.
They're first, or they can pass it. But the bonus question is, would you rather always be overdressed or always be underdressed? Go ahead.
Well, like every occasion.
Every occasion, all the time,
So
always.
if you go to like a wedding, you're more,
You're either
fancy than a
overdressed,
bride.
yes, or you're underdressed.
but then like you show up in sweatpants to a wedding.
Yeah, sure.
So you can pass if you want.
Yeah, can you guys pass?
Well, no.
Yeah,
Okay.
can we start?
Okay. No,
No,
don't pass.
actually,
don't
no,
pass
thank
yet.
you. Yeah, we're okay.
Well, I guess we'll have to be quick because you can hear the class
Yeah,
ready to come
okay.
in.
Speak louder.
Bonus question is a quick
Say
answer.
whatever.
I think underdressed. No, I take that back.
Actually,
This is a tough one, right? This is a tough one.
I think I'm gonna say underdressed because like
I think.
yeah, sometimes you gotta let other people shine through. You can't always be the spotlight. That's a bit like if you go, like I said, if you go to a wedding and then there's the bride in a fancy ball gown and then you show up, me, a 12-year-old, with like what a
I don't know.
Prada dress with a Gucci bag and like Louis Vuitton sunglasses. That's just gonna make me look like an absolute fool.
Would you rather be in a hoodie?
Well, being underdressed is comfy.
Yeah, whatever you're comfortable in should be what others appreciate. You should appreciate yourself for who you are and
I feel like
what you want
I feel like in this question it's kind of a
Yeah.
both way thing because
People have-
whichever person you are, if you like to
Yeah.
dress up, then you're obviously gonna want to be overdressed for everything. If you like
like people
sweatpants and sweatshirts every day, then you like to be underdressed. So it's
We
an
probably
Alright, so-
opinionated
different
But-
idea.
So underdressed.
Okay.
Evelina.
But see,
Priyanka.
if I'm, for example, if I'm comfortable more being overdressed,
that's
rather
what I'm
like, for example, I'd go to literally any like small occasion, I'd like to dress up and look nice. That's kind of me in my comfy clothes. Like I love
Yeah.
being overdressed, looking nice. But yes, if I get your point. If you were to go to a wedding and look 10 times better than the bride, I get that, but honestly, I think I'd rather not go to a wedding if I were to be overdressed. So honestly, I'm gonna pick overdressed because I love fashion, so that's why.
So it's a good question.
Yeah,
Priya.
it was.
I'm kind of split because if I showed up to a wedding and then was wearing sweatpants or if I was overdressed and I was wearing more than the bride.
I completely agree with what you said. Overdressing is not always the best, but at the same time, people have different ideas of what overdressed and underdressed is.
Yeah.
And I feel like enjoying fashion is not the same as being overdressed.
Yeah, that is true.
Overdressed and enjoying fashion.
Going back to the point they said about being in your comfort, comfort clothes, same thing. Me and my comfort clothes, it's not always sweatpants and sweatshirts. Sometimes it could be a pair of jeans and a nice top. It depends. A lot of these questions are depending on the person and what they like.
Because your perspective of underdress could be a lot different than my perspective of underdress.
Yeah. Everyone's different and they have their own thoughts and
going.
opinions on different things.
That's why they're good questions.
Going to Milan
They
fashion.
depend.
They depend a lot on.
All right, here's what I'm thinking this week. I have to give the bonus question and the game over here to Team Garlic, to Kaveri and Emma. I don't know if that's the right call because I like the depends. I like the overdress. I might go overdressed I might kind of lean towards Evelina's answer, but I totally understand, and they elaborated nicely. I don't know, is that the right call? So I got Team Garlic this week, but you tell us, were we wrong? Did Evelina and Priyanka actually win? Nonetheless, we got to say goodbye for now. Thank you so much. You did such a great job. Bye-bye.
Bye.